Welcome to Eventful Endeavors, secrets to crafting the perfect celebration. If you're planning an event and looking for useful tips from industry experts, you're in the right place. So get ready to take some notes and we'll dive right in. This is Eventful Endeavors.
Hello, I'm Jake Carter with Felix and Fingers Dueling Pianos, and this is Iris Jarneski with Coming to Maui Facebook group. You are a concierge that books events and all kinds of fun experiences in Maui. You are a fourth generation Maui resident with 30 years of hospitality industry experience, and you have a bunch of great relationships with operators and venues and all of the planners and people all over Maui. And so you work with tourism and making sure that people have an amazing time when they're here. Yeah, awesome. So I'm going to ask you some questions. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. I appreciate it. And
Happy
your
to be
Facebook
here.
group is amazing. Yeah,
Thanks.
your Facebook group is amazing. We were just chatting about that. I know that you kind of just explained that, but do you want to give me some more color on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So again, I've been a concierge for years here on the island. I'm from the island, and it's really fun for me to be able to give people information. Planning a vacation can be completely overwhelming. And with the years of experience that I have, I really enjoy when people tell me what their interests are and what they're looking to do, and helping to filter out all of the noise and give them really the experience they're looking for. Everyone is so different and every experience is so different. What's good for me isn't necessarily good for you. So when you ask a question like, what's the best luau? Well, guess what? The best luau for me isn't necessarily the best luau for you. So to give people choices and find out exactly what they're looking for is really important to make the memorable experiences that I strive for.
Awesome. Yeah. So everything's very much like tailored to the person, and then you're not just like, this is what I'm going to sell you every time. Like, so it's
Yeah,
very much personalized. Awesome.
yeah,
Very cool.
absolutely.
And your Facebook group that you have started a couple of years ago, right? Um,
Yes.
yeah. And what's it
It
currently at? It's like 50
basically
or
it
60,000?
started as me as a concierge kind of bored, thumbing through Facebook, and found that so many people had so many questions about planning their vacations coming to Maui. And because I have the knowledge that I do, I thought I'd go in and answer some of the questions, and found that, I was soliciting my concierge services. So got kind of banned from some of the groups. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go out there and start my own. And, went from a couple hundred people to thousands. I have close to 6,000 or 60,000 people now in the Coming to Maui group. And I try and keep everything positive, give just the most updated information. There's so much stuff that is out there that's negative. And me being a Maui resident, it's really interesting for me because I have the family life, but I also work in the tourism industry. And to find that sweet medium that everybody can be happy with has been challenging, with things like the fire, things with, COVID. And so, that's where my Coming to Maui group, I really want to give people the most updated information, the most accurate information, and, all of the events that are coming up. If you were to sit online trying to find these things, it would take you hours. It's all you'd be doing. And so, like I said, for me, it's fun for me to be able to share, all the happenings and fun things to do here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great group for that. And I I feel like I sort of, try to keep a good eye on what's going on, but I always love when I find people that are like, "Oh, did you hear about this? And did you hear about
Yeah.
this and this other thing going on?" I'm like, "Oh, you are going to be my best friend." Like, I need to know all of the things
Yeah.
that are going on all the time because it's just I love
Right.
going to do things. So, yeah, and your group
Yeah.
is amazing. That's just
Oh,
so many people and so many questions and all like it's very supportive and good and it's actually run well, which is amazing with that many people because I know a lot of times with like big groups it ends up just being like spam and like not that you get all the bad stuff in there and that one doesn't have
yeah.
that, which is crazy. So hands
Yeah.
down, hats off to you. You crush it with that.
Thanks.
Um, so to go over some questions about some things that you have experienced and what you do, what are
Mhm.
some current trends that you're seeing in wedding or event industry?
Um, what I've noticed is right after the fires, of course, everything tourism-wise dropped off.
Hmm.
We're definitely seeing an uptick in reservations, especially for spring and summer. A
Hmm.
lot of the events that were canceled are now being rebooked. Some of them were rebooked to other islands, but it seems like the interest to come back to Maui is really starting to appear again. It's really a nice, uh, it's nice to see because we rely so much on tourism here. Um, to
Yeah.
see weddings coming back home, people coming back, I should say,
Yeah.
to do weddings back here on Maui. It's just there's a lot more interest. And
Yeah.
again, it's really nice to see it trickling back in, but it looks like we're going to have a really busy spring and summer this year.
I love it. Love that. I know I tell people the same thing. I'm like, we need tourism like
Yeah.
bad, so it's good. It was really scary to see everything drop off and see people, I have friends that I know, like there's a photographer I knew that literally left like a week or two after because she's like, I went from having like all this business to
Yeah.
nothing for months and she's just like, I can't survive.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's
Yeah.
coming back is amazing. I know
Yeah.
that all of us are feeling
I
that.
Right after the fires, I actually talked to a couple of friends, vendor friends, and all
Hmm.
of their bookings for September and October fell off the books and,
Yeah.
refunds and whatnot. And finally, things are starting to trickle back in. And, um, it's the interest is coming back, and
Yeah.
people want to come to Maui. There's so many people that love this place and were completely
Yeah.
brokenhearted and, they were torn. Should we come? Should we not? And it's definitely time to start coming back. Our restaurants are starting to
Yeah.
open back up. Um, it's beautiful. Most of the island is open and operating like normal. So
Yeah.
come
I
on
mean,
back. We're ready
basically
for you.
99% of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really excited to see your answer to this next question because I think you're going to have some good stories here. So,
Okay.
what are some things that couples should never do and cringeworthy things that you hate seeing at events? And you can answer this however you want. If you want to just take it as people in general, like I'm very excited. This is my favorite question.
Okay. A couple of things actually that come to mind. When you're coming to Maui, don't try and cram everything into one trip. Overbook things. Um, I have people that want to do 2 or 3 activities in a day. They try and plan activities the day they arrive. Don't do that to yourselves. If you have a flight delay, you're going to come to Maui being stressed. And we don't live a
Oh, and
stressed life
upset.
here.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
live a very chill life. We we plan things, but not over plan. You've got to give yourself some time to enjoy the island. Stop and smell the roses here because it's so beautiful. Um,
Yeah.
Another thing, don't wear matching clothes.
You are the second person that has said that. I love that. That is so funny. There was another
You
planner
do
that I was
not
talking to, and
need
he was
to
like,
go to a luau and wear matching clothes.
"Oh my gosh, I love that. This is a
Um,
theme. This is a theme now because it's like, don't be that person. Don't
don't
do
do
it. It
that.
doesn't look good."
You're going
And
to
they
get
were
a lot
talking
of
about
really strange
weddings.
looks.
You were
What's that?
talking
I'm
about
sorry.
apparently the guy that I was talking about, or that I have interviewed in the past. He was saying that they would like do that for a wedding, and he was like, "No, don't wear the like aloha." He's like, "Don't wear a muumuu as your wedding dress. You know, wear a wedding dress. Like,
No.
don't match everything." Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. But I mean, I really think that's just about it. Those are, I think, the only cringeworthy things that I see. Over planning, overbooking, and wearing matching clothes. Don't do it.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And that's so funny. Yeah. And I think you have a really good point with just like why come to Maui and be stressed. That's not what we do. It's island,
Yeah,
come
that's
be happy. Don't make yourself miserable. Why would you do
yeah,
that? It's not, yeah.
right. And honestly, there's so many beautiful things to see here. If you're stressed just trying to get from one place to another, you're not going to stop and really enjoy what's around you. Even just a drive from
Yep.
the airport to the hotels. It's beautiful. You're right along
Yeah.
the shoreline. There's whales. Don't worry about getting to your final destination. Look around
Yeah.
and see
Yeah.
what's surrounding you, because yeah, it'll put you in a completely different frame of mind.
Yeah. I always tell people that, like, when I meet people that ask me about Hana, and I'm like,
Mm,
there's nothing in Hana. Like,
no.
that's my opinion. Like, so I'm like, don't care if you
Yeah.
get to Hana. Like, that is
Right.
not the point. Because people are like, I'm going to drive as fast as I can, as early in the morning. I'm like, no, that's like, you're going to get there to find
No.
that there's nothing there. And you just
Yeah.
wasted a couple hours being miserable, like on a crazy road.
Yep.
I'm like, the point is to go slow and enjoy the jungle. Like, you can turn
Yeah.
around at any point. Don't get to Hana.
No.
I don't go to Hana most times. I turn around before I get to
Yeah.
Hana. Like, if
Right.
I'm gonna go through Hana, it's because I'm gonna go all the way around. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just like, drive through the
That's
jungle until you're sick of driving through the jungle.
one of my favorite things to say is Hana is your destination, but it doesn't need to be your only destination.
Yeah,
Getting to Hana is really what the road to Hana is all about.
yeah,
The road to it's a road going from one town to another. Your final, town is
yeah,
Hana, but you're driving through a rainforest with waterfalls right next to you, with flowers in the trees, with the most beautiful
hmm,
coastline. It's one of the most scenic drives in the country. If you just get in a car and go straight there, look at everything that you're going to miss. How many times
yeah,
do you have the opportunity to swim in a waterfall or go to a black sand beach or stop and have some of the best banana bread you'll ever have? That's
yeah,
the road to Hana.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so what is the most unique, fun idea that you've seen at a wedding or event? Something that people have done?
Ooh, I absolutely love the flower drops. The
Oh
weddings
yeah,
that have flower drops, beautiful. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Those are
I've
really cool.
actually been
Yeah,
at a wedding that, as the vows were being said, it was right next to the ocean. Two whales came up and breached as the vows were being done. Breathtaking. That is
wow.
just so magical. When you're looking at a wedding here on Maui, doing it right around whale season at sunset is
Yeah.
absolutely stunning. You won't get
So make
that
sure and pay
type
extra
of
for the bleaching
magic
whale
anywhere else in the
package.
world. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to get the trained whales for when, during your wedding. It's an extra.
Yeah, they're on cue.
That's so funny. And the flower drop, just for everyone listening, because I know what you're talking
Mhm.
about, but I think that might be kind of a Maui thing. I
Could
don't know
be.
if they do that
Yeah,
everywhere. But I know what it is they
sure.
take a bunch of flowers and put them in a helicopter and then they
Yep.
drop them out like way off up in the sky. And so it's just like raining flowers during the wedding or
Yeah.
different points of the wedding. And it's really, really cool. Really, really
Yeah.
cool.
And
So,
people don't really think about that. Maybe it is just a Maui thing, but when you've
yeah.
got flowers falling from the sky right after you say your vows, it's like, wow, that is a memorable
Yeah.
experience, not just for you, but for all of your guests as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That is definitely super cool. I like that you brought that up. Um, So what is your advice for someone that is just starting their planning journey?
Get somebody to help you.
Yeah.
Have someone here on the island to help you with your plans because there's so much stuff on the internet and some of it's just garbage. Some of it, people have gone out of business and their websites are still up. So, that's a really important one when you're starting your planning is find someone that's here on the island to help you decipher all of the stuff that's good information and bad information.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're totally right. I think that getting started with someone that actually knows what's going on, don't just try to
Mhm.
do it yourself because you don't,
Yeah,
that's not what you do for work. Like you're not a professional planner. No one is. So
no,
it's like, why don't you
no.
just hire someone? You would hire a person to come do your plumbing, or your
Right.
electrical. Why would you not hire someone to do this other thing that you don't do?
Yeah,
Makes
I
total
agree.
sense. So, yeah. What makes your service unique?
Well, I work for a concierge company that deals with a lot of high-end travel agents and their guests. So my company is unique because we offer a lot of different private experiences. I have, of course, the group tours that you can buy in any hotel. But I also have a lot of vendors that I work with that are really geared to giving people unique experiences. One of my tour operators is amazing. He's a Hawaiian culturalist. So if you're looking for something that you just want to get Hawaiian culture and not go to the Road to Hana or go to the Haleakala, I can get really amazing cultural experiences for you going out to a taro farm, going out to do some of the food tastings, or go out to historical sacred sites that aren't even available to the public. So I have those types of experiences to offer, along with all of the different group tours.
Yeah, that is really cool. That is awesome.
Mm.
And I think that comes with one that you've been here forever and you're from here, right? And
Oh, yeah.
you've done this. You have those relationships with the people and you're
Yeah.
like, here you go. Here is the most unique, like once again, get with people that do this for their
Yeah.
job because they know how to do it and they do it well.
Yeah.
Otherwise they wouldn't.
Exactly. And the companies that we work with have to be vetted. They have to have the proper insurances, and there's so many people out there that are doing tours and activities that aren't licensed. So when you're looking at, getting a good company, that's another thing to really think about is, are they a legal company? Are they working legitimately here within the state? And, you get hurt out there. You don't want just anybody doing your tour. You want to make sure that you've
Yeah.
got somebody that's good that is going to take care of you if something happens on your tour.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask some logistical questions about
Okay.
events and just kind of,
Yeah.
you don't have to get super colorful with these, but you can if you would like to.
Okay.
So what is the current availability that you have for like booking events and how far in advance do people normally book?
That's a really great question because we have groups that we're working on right now that are booking for June of 2025.
Wow.
Um, yeah. And like I said, summertime is extremely busy. You want to do your best to plan ahead. If you're looking at a smaller group, let's say 25 to 35 people, I'm working with a group right now that's 25. They're coming this summer, so in June. Um, I'm able to get them just about everything that they'd like to get. We have some people that rent out private homes, and we can do private luau's at the private home. Um, so if it's a smaller group, I would say, 3, 4 months out is a good time to plan. But if you're looking for, 200, 300 people, you definitely want to give it that good 9 months to a year window to be able to prepare properly.
Yeah, that is good. I agree. I think the more ahead of you get ahead of the game that you get with things, the better it's going to work out,
Yeah.
and it just makes it so much less stressful. You're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yep, everything's done, and I'm just going to go and do it. When you've done it a year ago and you just
Yeah.
forgot about all that. Yeah,
Right.
you're not up against all the deadlines, and yeah, I think
Mhm.
I think that's totally right. What is an average event size for things that you do? I know that you said like between you do stuff for 20 and also 400. So what is normal for you?
Normal would be, I would say, 25 to 50. Yeah,
Okay,
especially for the destination weddings that we have. 25 to 50 people is pretty average. Yeah.
awesome. Do you have a preferred vendor list? I'm sure you do. And do you require that people use them if you're working on an event with them?
We like them to use our preferred vendors. However, because every group is unique, um,
Hmm.
we have hundreds of activities that we have access to. I book
Hmm.
activities, in fact, for the entire state of Hawaii. So we have certain people that we like to use because, again, they're vetted. They've got great guest satisfaction ratings. Um, but we really do try and find out what your guests are looking for and give them the experience that they're looking for versus just working off specific vendors.
Yeah, yeah. So I was also going to ask you, I know that you're very involved in the planning process. Do you go if like you book a big event and are you there on site when their event is happening?
Not normally. No, I
Okay.
usually work with the event planner and
Okay.
they, shoot me an email. Hey, Iris, I have a group of 25 coming over. This is what they want to do. Um, on my website, we've even done things where I have their own specific group that, you know, let's say, for instance, they want to have their wedding reception at a luau.
Hmm.
So the bride and groom will take care of that portion, but guests want to go out on a snorkel trip. Some want to do a helicopter ride. Uh, we can set it up so that they can get on the website and pick certain activities and pay for it individually, not
Oh, that's
necessarily
cool.
doing it as a group. So
Hmm.
we
Once again,
try and
just
work, sometimes they want to take care of everything, which,
yeah.
you know, lucky guest.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can definitely work it out both ways so that, everybody's happy.
So so you mentioned that if there was an event that was going on, you would have a planner on site. Would that be the main point of contact, or do you kind of do like
Yes.
game time logistical work, just not there?
Well, there's usually an event planner that reaches out, and they're the ones that are there on site with the bride and groom
Yeah.
to, walk them through the logistics. And they contact me if there's any issues or, change of number of guests, or, let's say that we have a weather event and they, get canceled. I've had luau's to cancel and 25 people are
Yeah.
looking to go to a luau, and hopefully we can get them rescheduled. But
Yeah.
if that's the
S-
case, of refunds, I take care of
Yeah.
all of them.
Okay. So, I mean, in the event that there are weather issues, you
Mhm.
guys do try to reschedule or you will refund people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. And so I know you also just mentioned, this is another good question for you, is the payment for events and all of
Mhm.
that. You said that people can book just directly on your website.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. With the large groups, or if it's a private event, we have a 7-day cancellation policy.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just a group tour, let's say somebody goes on a helicopter and they decide, I don't want to go on Monday, we want to go on Thursday. It's 2 days prior to the activity date to change or cancel with no penalty. And most
Mm-hmm.
of the activities are the same. So a private would have 7 days, a group would have 48 hours to change or cancel with no penalty.
Awesome. Do you have a standard deposit that you take for everything, or
We
does it vary?
usually take everything up front.
Okay.
So payment in full in the beginning. And, if we're doing like a big event, we'll have usually a deadline date. that everything needs to be paid for. That's usually a month or two in advance. And then, yeah, just like booking anything online, if most things you have to pay for up front. So we're the same.
Yeah.
But I've had people, hey, it's not convenient for me to pay right now. I'm going to be there in June. Can I pay for all of this in April? Absolutely. We work really, really well.
Yeah.
We're flexible.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, so I know, like we mentioned at the beginning, Coming to Maui is the Facebook group you can get all of the great information and see all of the things and network with all the people. And that's the one that you run and manage, and people can reach out to tours through that group and also through your email.
Yeah.
Do you want to say your email just so that we have it
Yeah,
here?
my email address is iris, IRIS, at the, THE, Hawaii concierge.com.
Awesome. And that's the best way to reach out and book things with you, right?
Yep. Yep.
Great. And then was there a special offer with this or no? Let's see.
We really try hard to keep integrity with all of our pricing. Our pricing is across the board the same as it would be if you were to walk into our concierge desk in our hotel. So unfortunately, I don't have discounts, and not very many people are discounting, just trying to keep ahead of, the fires and COVID. Everybody's trying to come back. So
the special
I wish I
offer
could
is
say
working
yes.
with you. The special offer is working with you, and then you don't have to be so stressed.
Yes,
That's the special offer.
You get me.
Yes. Yes, exactly. How fun. I love it. Yes, amazing. Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you doing this with me today. Thank you.
Thanks, Jake.
Aloha.
It's really nice meeting you, and I am happy to help. This is really fun for me. I like to say that I get to help everybody have fun, and they pay me to do that. So I got a pretty good gig.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I kind of do the same thing on a different level. Generally, it's drunk people, but they're even more fun though. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, thanks again so much.
Yeah. Aloha.
Aloha.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Eventful Endeavors, Secrets to Crafting the Perfect Celebration. We hope to have left you with some actionable ideas for your own event. If you like the show, please subscribe and definitely leave us a review. We read every comment. So until next time, happy planning and see you soon on Eventful Endeavors.